Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and we are reading the Bible cover to cover. Today we are on day 45, so we are going to be reading Genesis 45, Job chapter 18, and then we'll move back into Luke chapter 21, but only verses 1 through 19 today. And then we'll close out the day with Psalm 34, verses 1 to 14. So I am so glad you're here today. Let's get started in Genesis chapter 45. Then Joseph couldn't control himself before all those who stood before him, and he called out, "Cause everyone to go out from me." No one else stood with him while Joseph made himself known to his brothers. He wept aloud. The Egyptians heard, and the house of Pharaoh heard. Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Does my father still live?" His brothers couldn't answer him, for they were terrified at his presence. Joseph said to his brothers, "Come near to me, please." They came near. He said, "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt. Now don't be grieved nor angry with yourselves that you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve life. For these 2 years the famine has been in the land, and there are yet 5 years in which there will be no plowing and no harvest. God sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant in the earth, and to save you alive by a great deliverance. So now it wasn't you who sent me here, but God. And he has made me a father to Pharaoh, lord of all his house, and ruler over all the land of Egypt. Hurry and go up to my father and tell him, 'This is what your son Joseph says. God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me. Don't wait. You shall dwell in the land of Goshen." Hold on a second. "You shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you will be near to me. You, your children, your children's children, your flocks, your herds, and all that you have. There I will provide for you, for there are yet 5 years of famine, lest you come to poverty, you and your household, and all that you have. Behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaks to you. You shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that you have seen. You shall hurry and bring my father down here." He fell on his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept on his neck. He kissed all his brothers and wept on them. After that, his brothers talked with him. The report of it was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, "Joseph's brothers have come." It pleased Pharaoh well, and his servants. Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Tell your brothers, do this. Load your animals and go, travel to the land of Canaan. Take your father and your households and come to me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and you will eat the fat of the land. Now you are commanded to do this. Take wagons out of the land of Egypt and your little ones, and for your wives, and bring your father, and come. Also, don't concern yourselves about your belongings, for the good of all the land of Egypt is yours." The sons of Israel did so. Joseph gave them wagons according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and gave them provisions for the way. He gave each one of them changes of clothing, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of clothing. He sent the following to his father: 10 donkeys loaded with the good things of Egypt, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain and bread and provisions for his father by the way. So he sent his brothers away, and they departed. He said to them, "See that you don't quarrel on the way." They went up out of Egypt and came into the land of Canaan to Jacob their father. They told him, saying, "Joseph is still alive, and he is ruler over all the land of Egypt." His heart fainted, for he didn't believe them. They told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said to them. When he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob their father revived. Israel said, "It is enough. Joseph my son is still alive. I will go and see him before I die." That is so much fun to read. Okay, but now we move into Job. It's going to be roller coaster. Job chapter 18. Job's friend has some words. So then Bildad the Shuhite answered, "How long will you hunt for words? Consider, and afterwards we will speak. Why are we counted as animals, which have become unclean in your sight? You who tear yourself in your anger, will the earth be forsaken for you? Or will the rock be removed out of its place? Yes, the light of the wicked will be put out. The spark of its fire won't shine. The light will be dark in his tent. His lamp above him will be put out. The steps of his strength will be shortened. His own counsel will cast him down. For he is cast into the net by his own feet, and he wanders into its mesh. A snare will take him by the heel, a trap will catch him. A noose is hidden for him in the ground, a trap for him on the path. Terrors will make him afraid on every side, and will chase him at his heels. His strength will be famished, calamity will be ready at his side. The members of his body will be devoured. The firstborn of death will devour his members. He will be rooted out of the security of his tent, and he will be brought to the king of terrors. There will dwell in his tent that which is none of his. Sulfur will be scattered on his habitation. His roots will be dried up beneath. His branch will be cut off above. His memory will perish from the earth. He will have no name in the street. He will be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He will have neither son nor grandson among his people, nor any remaining where he lived. Those who come after will be astonished at his day, as those who went before were frightened. Surely such are the dwellings of the unrighteous. This is the place of him who doesn't know God. All right, and we're moving into Luke chapter 21, verse 1 through 19. All right, Jesus looked up and saw the rich people who were putting their gifts into the treasury. He saw a certain poor widow casting in 2 small brass coins. He said, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow put in more than all of them. For all these put in gifts for God from their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, put in all that she had to live on." As some were talking about the temple and how it was decorated with beautiful stones and gifts, he said, As for these things which you see, the days will come in which there will not be left here one stone on another that will not be thrown down." They asked him, "Teacher, so when will all these things be? What is the sign that these things are about to happen?" He said, "Watch out that you don't get led astray, for many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and 'the time is at hand.' Therefore don't follow them. When you hear of wars and disturbances, don't be terrified, for these things must happen first, but the end won't come immediately." Then he said to them, "Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be great earthquakes and famines and plagues in various places. There will be terrors and great signs from heaven. But before all these things, they will lay their hands on you and will persecute you, delivering you up to synagogues and prisons, bringing you before kings and governors for my name's sake. It will turn out as a testimony for you. Settle it therefore in your hearts not to meditate beforehand how to answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries will not be able to withstand or to contradict. You will be handed over even by parents, brothers, relatives, and friends. They will cause some of you to be put to death. You will be hated by all men for my name's sake, and not a hair of your head will perish. By your endurance, you will win your lives." Yeah, I've been hearing every now and again, "Oh, it's the end times, it's the end times, this is it, and, so-and-so is surely sent from God, and so is, oh," and it says it right here, we will not know when it happens. And so if you think you know, you don't. And so that's why just every day we stay in relationship with God. And when He decides to make it happen, He will make it happen. But He will not reveal it to us before He makes it happen. So we just stay in relationship with Him. And when it happens, it happens. Anyways, Psalm 34. I'm feeling a little hyper today. I'm sorry. 34, 1 through 14. This is by David when he pretended to be insane before Abimelech, who drove him away, and he departed. So David's pretending to be insane. I will bless Yahweh at all times. His praise will always be in my mouth. My soul shall boast in Yahweh. The humble shall hear of it and be glad. Oh, magnify Yahweh with me. Let's exalt His name together. I sought Yahweh, and He answered me and delivered me from all my fears. They looked to Him, and they were radiant. Their faces shall never be covered with shame. This poor man cried, and Yahweh heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. Yahweh's angel encamps around those who fear Him and delivers them. Oh, taste and see that Yahweh is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in Him. Oh, fear Yahweh, you His saints, for there is no lack with those who fear Him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but those who seek Yahweh shall not lack any good thing. Come, you children, listen to me. I will teach you the fear of Yahweh, who is someone who desires life and loves many days, that he may see good. Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking lies. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Seek peace. Seek peace. Can you imagine if all of God's children would just seek peace? I think we'd all get along. I think there'd be no war. I think there'd be no division. I think there'd be no hunger. If we would just all seek peace. Oh well. So I am so glad that you were here with me on day 45. I hope you enjoyed this day. I just love the story of Joseph and his brothers, just the back and forth and how Joseph toys with them. And then the brothers realizing, oh my gosh, it's him. He's going to kill me. And he doesn't do it. They just end up kissing each other and loving each other. I really love that story. I hope you enjoyed it too. And please join me again for tomorrow, day 46. And until then, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.